We will talk about the top 10 disasters in the world. Number 10, Indonesian floods. Let's kick things off with the disaster that happened right on the turn of the new year. On the 1st of January 2020, Indonesia would see floods in the capital city of Jakarta and surrounding areas with water levels that would rise about 5 feet in height. Many were forced to flee their homes. Electric shocks and landslides led to serious injuries and deaths across the city, and, overall, the city is still recovering from this disaster. Total of 66 people lost their lives during this flood, showcasing the perils that elements can bring. Number 9, Taal volcano eruption. The Taal volcano eruption would occur just 12 days after the Indonesian floods. On the 12th of January, the Taal volcano erupted, causing masses of ash clouds to cover the surrounding areas for as far as 100 kilometers in any direction. Over 300,000 people who lived within the Philippines were evacuated for their own protection, and with good reason too. It was reported that there were a total of 484 tectonic shifts, causing earthquakes near the volcano. This has caused severe destruction to the Philippines, and countries are, to this day, still sending financial aid to help the country repair. Number 8, Indian locust swarms. Now for something that sounds biblical, but we assure you, this is a real concern. Locusts are known in Asian cultures such as India and Pakistan as one of the most notorious pests in existence. They are known to come in swarms and lay waste to crops. This has been a constant for locals, but recently this has become a huge concern due to climate change. These locusts are coming in higher volumes, and therefore a lot more crops are being consumed. It's reported that 2020 was the worst attack yet, leading to huge food shortages, and although this cannot be measured, we can only assume that this had led to several underprivileged families not being able to feed their families. Number 7, windstorms, Thera and Alex. We move to Central Europe, where two prominent windstorms were the cause of natural disasters across the continent. The windstorms, commonly known as Thera and Alex, swept through mainland Europe, leaving destruction in their wake, totaling damages up to $6 billion. Plus, these storms were also responsible for 30 deaths. It's reported that, due to climate change, these storms are likely to become more frequent. Number 6. Aegean Sea earthquake tsunami. On the 30th of October 2020, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake was recorded about 14 kilometers off the coast of the Greek island of Samos. This earthquake was already catastrophic, but it would also be followed by a tsunami which would wreak further havoc on the Greek and Turkish population. These events would cause just less than $400 million worth of damages, destroy a huge chunk of the island of Samos and the city of Izmir's infrastructure. Plus, these events would lead to the death of 119 people, with 1,053 further individuals suffering injuries. Number 5, Pakant Jade mine disaster in Myanmar. A landslide of catastrophic proportions led to a devastating mining accident in July 2020, thanks to heavy rain. The night before, a wave of mud and mining waste was sent into a nearby lake, leading to a wave of mud and water falling into the mining site, burying those on the job. The disaster would take the lives of 174 workers, 100 people were reported missing, and a further 54 workers were severely injured due to the disaster. Exercising caution could have prevented this disaster, and we can only hope that the profession of mining is governed better from here on out in Myanmar. Number 4, the California wildfires in 2020. California was unlucky enough to suffer one of the most devastating wildfires in U.S. history. This fire would be referred to as a gigafire, which burned through 4% of the state's 100 million acres of land. The fire destroyed over 10,000 structures, caused over $12 billion worth of damages, and also this fire would lead to the death of 34 people. This fire was blamed on poor forest management, and we can only hope that this horrible ordeal does not repeat. Number 3, Beirut explosion. Now, moving away from natural disasters and onto a catastrophic man-made error. On the 4th of August 2750, tons of ammonium nitrate was ignited in a factory in Lebanon. This would cause a blast that would destroy the homes of 300,000 people, including key buildings such as hospitals and schools. This blast would also injure over 6,000 Lebanese residents, and, sadly, 190 people would lose their life due to the direct effects of the blast. Number 2, the Australian bushfire. Now, technically, this disaster began in 2019, but due to the severity of the bushfire, this disaster raged on deep into 2020. The Australian bushfire was set ablaze in December of 2019, and before the fire was quelled in 2020, the fire would have burned 18.6 million hectares of land, destroyed almost 6,000 buildings or structures, and, most importantly, directly killed 34 people, with 400 further deaths coming. As a result of smoke inhalation, this is quite easily one of the most devastating fires on record. Number 1, COVID-19. Could it really have been anything else? Coronavirus formally entered our lives in March of 2020, and to this day we are still living through the altered society. It has birthed a terrifying viral illness, has been responsible for an estimated 269 million deaths worldwide, a staggering 69 million worldwide cases, and at this moment we can only speculate as to the long-lasting social and economical effects that this pandemic will bring. So that's our list of the top 10 disasters. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification icon to receive daily updates from us. See you in next video. Until then, best of luck.